everyone, my name is Madison Davitt, and my assignment for this discussion post was Theodore C. Bester's article on how sushi went global. So in the beginning of this article, he poses a question, and this is: a 500-pound tuna is caught off the coast of New England or Spain, flown thousands of miles to Tokyo, sold for tens of thousands of dollars to Japanese buyers, and then shipped to chefs in New York and Hong Kong. And that's the manic logic of global sushi. So when I think about that, it's going all sorts of places all over the world and then ending up in either America or over in Hong Kong. And that seems a little bit illogical to me, but let's get into it. So starting off, buyers will show up to docks where they sell the sushi or the tuna at 7 p.m. and will examine all of the tuna and make sure that it is worth bidding on. And then once these tuna are bid on based on like the fat that they show on the tuna's bodies, how the meat looks, and sort of that nature, they are bid on, and then they get on the phone and talk to chefs and other buyers all over the world. And then after these tuna are sold, they will go into things called tuna coffins, and it's a bunch of crushed ice and pickup trucks, and they will get transported. Tuna trade is a prime example of globalizing regional industries. So sushi becomes not just cool, and we see it becomes not just cool, but popular as well. It became famous right up there with things like Disneyland, PlayStation, and Pokemon when that was all going on. And it was globalizing in America. It became famous basically overnight, and things that were cultural motifs for Americans is kind of what sushi became. So like I said, Pokemon and stuff like that, and that became like a huge thing. Well, so did sushi and people's palates in certain cuisine. So following its boom, issues with overfishing had arrived. So rules from the ICCAT helped to track and regulate this trade based on who doesn't comply and who does. Those people will be banned from the fishing and trading in these Japanese markets because it is such high demand. This demand created a gold rush mentality, so people were fishing, overfishing, and people were worried that the tuna population was going to decrease and that they were going to become not enough to produce more in Japan. So the Suzuki market is the command post for global seafood trade. The record price for this market was over $200,000 for just one fish, which is crazy. The Jukichi market is an auction system, and it flows through many markets and opens up a worldwide network for fishers, farmers, and restaurants, which can help the economy. It helped to grow capital all around the world. And some restaurant owners will switch from Chinese to Japanese cuisine in some of the examples in the article because they can charge the premium, so a higher price for the stuff that they sell. They're making more money. And this was all like a matter of like matching people's palates like all over the world and like what they had a hunger for. And since sushi was becoming so cool and popular, it just made sense. So they wanted to match people's taste because of the popularity, and it's just funny how we see Japanese cultural identity becoming so important in so many other places, which is like an example of the globalization of the sushi market. So Americans as well as other countries wanted to share that cultural identity that Japan had. And another also thing is that Japanese chefs and workers understand the art per se, the art and like the ideals behind how you transport tuna, how it's cut, how it's shaved like really thin, or whether it's shaved like or it's cut into cubes for palating it for people. So they would have Japanese workers come and teach them in schools or in just restaurants the art of making sushi and cutting tuna. One thing I found was interesting was that anthropologists say Japan's ability to transform tuna from trash to treasure around the world is remarkable. So this really helps us to grasp a better concept of the globalization, better with using sushi around and the tuna markets to back it. So it all just kind of goes to show how the sushi market and like tuna fishing boomed and became a globalized like treasure in many countries. So thank you.